Hi, I'm Carol Brown, author of Highly Sensitive, Learning to Live with the Gift, published by Destiny Image. It'll be coming out September this year, and I'm just thrilled that this resource is now available to the body of Christ. I encourage you to get the book. Whether you consider yourself highly sensitive spiritually or not, you'll find it helpful. Helpful to understand yourself and or those around you. You can see that many people find burden bearing to be more of a curse than a blessing. How would you know how to deal with emotions that come out of nowhere, or excessive emotional responses, or responses that are totally out of character, if no one has told you, if no one has taught you how to live your life as a highly sensitive person? When there's too many people, too much noise, too much activity, too many lights, you're just easily overstimulated. And if no one teaches you, how are you going to know how to respond to that? God has made some 20 to 30% of the population in general highly sensitive, which means 70 to 80% are not so sensitive, and so they have varying degrees of grace and patience with those who are. So in that kind of an environment, how do you justify needing time alone and in quiet to recharge and renew? You want to thrive rather than just survive as a highly sensitive burden bearer. But to do that, you may need to build or rebuild some inner structures, and this book will help you. With all the sensory data that you're continually bombarded with, life can seem overwhelming, downright burdensome. You need to have some guidelines, some structures to help you rein life in so that it's manageable. Highly Sensitive, Learning to Live with the Gift of Spiritual Sensitivity will help you do that. It will help you sort through the confusing jumble of sensory data. You will find guidelines for how to live as an overcoming burden bearer rather than being overwhelmed and controlled by others' needs. Burden bearers have generally become so filled up with other people's stuff that they often lose their own sense of self, who they are. Spiritually Sensitive, Learning to Live with the Gift will help you build or repair a battered identity. You will find hope and encouragement in regard to your hearing of God and having confidence in that hearing. You'll also be encouraged to be kinder to yourself. You are learning a language, a spiritual language, but a language nonetheless. I believe that life is about learning to walk and talk, live and love like Jesus. And if you're highly sensitive, burden bearing may just be the spiritual workout regimen that God has designed for you to work the nature and character of Jesus into you. As I got toward the end of the book, I turned to God and I said, Lord, I don't know how to end this book. Will you help me with this last chapter? And that was an amazing experience, to experience His Spirit helping me write that last chapter. I'm afraid if I tried to tell you about it that I wouldn't do it justice. You just have to read it. But I will say this, that you have reservations at the most fantastic promotion ceremony, party, gathering, banquet that you could ever imagine, and then it's bigger than that. So lean into that workout regimen. Learn all you can about burden bearing. Embrace your design. There is nothing quite so winsome as a joy-filled life. When you ask Jesus to be in charge of the spiritual sensitivity of your spirit, then that's when you put Jesus in the driver's seat. Now, he's a good driver, and he's a safe driver, but you will want to buckle your seatbelts. He does not slow down on the learning curve. So, enjoy the read, enjoy the ride. Bless you.